Before Dana started work at the Walt Disney Company, she had to take a class called Traditions, where employees learn the traditions and values upon which the Walt Disney Company was established, so that they can continue in those traditions and provide park guests with the ultimate magical experience. And in this class, they heard stories of their founder, Walt Disney, that helped establish Disneyland as the happiest place on earth. And one of the stories she told me struck me in a particular way. Shortly after Disneyland opened, Walt was walking through the park, observing the happiness that he had created. And he walked through Fantasyland, and he noticed, sitting on a bench next to King Arthur's carousel, was a little boy sitting all by himself, crying his eyes out. And Walt went over to the bench, sat down next to the little boy, and he said, "Why are you crying? Why on earth are you crying? This is the happiest place on earth." And the little boy sniffed and wiped his nose, and he said, "My brother got to sit on the white horse on the merry-go-round, and I didn't." And Walt reached into his pocket, and he took out a ticket, and he said, "Here you go. You come back tomorrow, and I promise you will be able to sit on the white horse." And that night, after the park closed, Walt issued an order that every horse on King Arthur's carousel be painted white. And that way no child would ever cry again for not being able to sit on the white horse. To this day, every horse on what is now called Sleeping Beauty's carousel is white, so that every child who rides a horse will feel like they're on this special one. No child will cry again for not getting the white horse. Jesus said in Matthew 7:11, "If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give what is good to those who ask him?" Walt Disney was just a man. He had limited resources when he opened that park, and if he would go to that extreme to please a little boy who isn't even his own, how much more will our Father in heaven, who owns the cattle and horses on 1,000 hills, make the effort to please the hearts of his own children? My friends, our God's resources are so much more than Walt Disney's, even today, and our God wants to bless in a way that's eternal, not just temporal. And in addition to wanting to bless, God knows what is the very best for you and me. Walt can spoil a kid. That kid goes home, and then he can just expect a white horse forever from his own dad. Walt doesn't have to worry about that. God knows what's eternally best for us. He knows when it is we should get that white horse. And he knows when we have earned when he can trust us to be able to experience those blessings without taking them and running. Can you trust God if it looks like everyone else has a white horse but you? Can you trust him if you haven't yet met your prince on the white horse? Can you trust that he doesn't need to repaint? He already has your story written and perfected, and he knows exactly what's in store for you. He's just waiting for you to trust him and to ask him for it.